Do you realize that black people in America, okay, are the most financially successful across the spectrum of black people in any other country in the world?
I did not know that statistic.
That black Americans would be in the 95th percentile for income in any other country in the world on average. That black Americans have more successful businesses in America. You know, this concept of racism is a really funny thing. The question is, do they want to work through them? When Asian people had challenges in America, they worked through them. When the Irish had challenges in America, they worked through them. The Italians, you know, there's a segment of the black population, whether we like it or not, that has made a ton of money off of creating this victim mentality
Yeah.
instead of looking at all the positives for the black community. And I think the black community has tremendous opportunity, and they're doing a great job and can do better if we give them the chance.
So the question is, where is the concept of Black Americans are lazy coming from? Where is the concept of people saying, oh, Black Americans are jobless? Black Americans do not know how to do anything. Black Americans are this. Black Americans are that. Where is that concept coming from? Because clearly, with most of the research I have been able to carry out as well, Black Americans are successful. Black Americans are billionaires. Black Americans are millionaires in dollars out there. They're owning houses, owning companies, owning cars, buying things in their own name. So that is why whenever I see people saying, oh, Black Americans are lazy, or Black Americans don't want to work, or Black Americans don't want to do this, or Black Americans don't want to do that, I keep asking myself, where is this concept coming from? How did you people get to this particular conclusion that Black Americans are lazy? But anyways, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. With that being said, let's go ahead and roll out the other clips. I'll be back with commentaries.
Do you realize? Do you realize that black people in America, okay, are the most financially successful across the spectrum of black people in any other country in the world?
I did not know that statistic.
That black Americans would be in the 95th percentile for income in any other country in the world on average. That black Americans have more successful businesses in America.
When my people say we are the best, I mean, where's the lie? We are the best. Okay? We are the best. And we so humble, we don't even pop it like we supposed to be popping it. Like, I mean, it's crazy out here. Little old black Americans, the descendants of slaves, are the best. Wow. I'll be mad too. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be mad too. Wow.
Do better if we give them the chance.
If we gave them a chance. Look, even under systemic racism, they were able to persevere and become successful. Even under institutionalized racism, they were able to persevere and become successful. If we gave them a chance and removed the system, could you only imagine how great these black Americans will be? Even greater, because he knows this government specifically target black Americans since the beginning, since the inception of this country. It goes back to 1619. That's when everything became structural and institutionalized, far as when it comes to racism existing in this system. That's when it was well documented. 1619. No other group of people in this country this government targeted like black Americans, but black Americans still persevere. Only if we gave them a chance and lift all those systems and made the game plan, the playing field fair and equal. And you know what's so heartbreaking? These white people know this, right? But you have all these non-European immigrants, especially the black immigrants, come over here and put their nose up like they better than black Americans when they're coming into a country where all the smoke cleared. Basically, you wasn't over here in the 1600s. You wasn't over here in the 1900s. You wasn't over here in the 1800s. You wasn't over here in the 1900s where they was burning successful black communities, right? All that stuff the Somalians are doing in Minnesota, that would have been burnt down in the 1800s. You talking about, due process, justice by the court. No, it would have been justice by fire, right? And they have the audacity to come over here and put their nose to the sky like they better. When the hard part, when coming up out of the trenches have already been in the past. But he stated, the white man stated, only if they was given a chance.
As an Italian living in America, the African American community could be the richest community in the world. Because you have something that white people do not have, and it could be a superpower. Let me explain. Premise, I am an Italian living in America, and I will say that I see a lot of common features between the Italian community in Italy and the African American community. In car sales, and now I do housing, specifically low income and middle income housing. I've seen houses and the way people live across multiple, let's say, cultures, subcultures, and incomes across America. Notice one huge similarity among the Afro-American community and the Italian one, which is community. Only neighborhoods I found out in America where people hang out the most outside of their homes, around, walk around, outside in general, and among each other, where there's a lot of social life, you guessed it, is you have no idea how powerful of a thing this is. White people are very isolated. They don't go out a lot. They don't socialize a lot. The community you have, the communities you have, sub-communities you have are something wonderful. It is something that could make you the richest communities in the world. One of the superpowers I have as an Italian living in America is the fact that I came here, I created my little community of Italians, which is my family, my friends, and everything. We literally collaborate. When somebody does something bad, we put them out. We don't make them part of the group. When somebody has an idea, we put money together. Somebody wants to try something, we all go with that person and we share costs, we share everything. Cost of living of an immigrant that lives in a community like I do is lower than the average American, and the easiness to get into larger investment has never been as easy because you not work as one person buying something, you work as a group of 30 people buying together or investing together or thinking together. When we say, yeah, but you talk about people with low income. I'll tell you this, right now I'm in Abruzzo. I'm in a very low income area of Italy. I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. There's mostly agricultural workers. Average income here is $1,000 to $1,500 a month. People here have a way better lifestyle than most middle income families in America. Why is that? Because as we say, it takes a town, it takes a small city to raise the entire population and to raise the kids. Every single person has their job here, and every single person has their role here and helps each other out. The person that takes care of the olive trees for everybody. We have the person that takes care of the wine for everybody. The person that takes care of the chicken. We have 50 chicken here. We give them out to a lot of people in the neighborhood. Help each other out. So even though most people here are poor, because we help each other out, the cost of living, the living standards and everything is better. One main issue, education. Italian education is amazing. So even the low end of society is very well educated here. America, it's harder. That if you have the little extra step in American society, especially among the African American community, create a recipe for wealth. Being one of the only cultures that actually interacts the most with each other. Couple that with amazing education, not only for the wealthy part of the community. Create an educated, prepared group, which, unlike everybody else, helps each other out. Pushes out the people that are actually damaging to the community. Raises the people up that are helpful for the community. Raises everybody up like a rising tide. I'm telling you this, I saw this across multiple communities. You have a superpower. I hope you're aware of it. You could literally conquer all of America with this. I understand there are some foundational issues that should be sorted out by politics, by society, by you pushing more for it, by social media, and yes. If you integrate and solve those issues with the community, the strong community you have, and I don't know how you do it. I'm just an immigrant. I'm just saying what I'm seeing here. That is the recipe for, whoa, like exponential growth. It's crazy.
They weren't lying when they said black Americans are the richest black people on planet Earth, because check out these hourly wages in the Caribbeans. Big Katie's coming in at a 41 cent an hour. Whoa, if that was me, I'll be on my Kurt Franklin. Do you want a revolution? Whoop, whoop.
Do you want a revolution? I say, do you?
I mean, that is what they known for, right? Did they gain their independence, or was it yellow fever? But anyway, look at Jamaica. $2 and some change. That's not enough money to spend a weekend at one of those resorts on your island that's blocking you from accessing your beaches. Some studies even show that Jamaica only have access to 0.6% of their public beaches. And $2 and some change an hour ain't gonna change that. And it's crazy because tourism in the Caribbeans make billions of dollars, but their residents, the citizens there, are just workers in their own land with no control. But anyway, shout out to black Americans being the highest earners on the planet. I might follow up with an African edition.
Yeah, America has about 50, 60, 70 million black people. And anytime that the playing field has been even or fair, black people excel. You can see that in music because they're, when artists go and create, it's a fair playing field. When they compete in athletics, it's always when that guy walks up to that starting line and that gun goes off, there's no more racism. It's the best man shall win. And so sometimes there are people who try to gain an advantage and use racism. They use their advantage to try to advance their own selves. And they advance the selves of others. And another thing that what we have to do as black people is we have to work together. Yeah. You cannot win in things if you're doing it by yourself, right? Yeah. I would rather help my friends succeed because now I have successful friends, right? Yeah. There are people who that I have given opportunity to shoot music videos years and years ago. Those guys are now big filmmakers. Yeah. And these are the same people who are my friends in my network.
Hey fam, I just want to remind us that I was talking to Kim B, and I was doing some research, and I found out that again, I keep telling us that we don't know who we are. We don't know who we are. Out of all the melanated groups in the world, we are the only group, the wealthiest group, who had an ethnogenesis in the first world and is in the first world. We're the only group that had this ethnogenesis that is doing extremely well comparatively. We're one of the wealthiest ethnic groups in the world, not just black, okay? And out of everybody, white, black, Asian, what have you, most countries are not wealthy. And I looked up the only other ethnic group that's from first world, developed in the first world, and is doing well, and that's the Maori tribe in New Zealand. And actually they have they're very wealthy, and the way they did it was kind of a case study that would be interesting for us to look at, because they did it in a different way, and they did it through tribes, and their whole group is good. But that being said, they got reparations. Okay? We're the only group that's doing as well as we're doing, which is better than everybody first of all, in our racial category, and then better than 90% of people in every other racial category. And we never got reparations. That's why they're scared to give us reparations. You can say what you want about us. You can say, oh, well, black people this, black people that. But the truth is, in the world spectrum, in the world perspective, we are winning. That's why everybody's mad. Because we don't have reparations, and we're still winning comparatively. If you go to Australia, the Aboriginals, they have decimated them. If you look in America, the Siberian natives, decimated. There's a few tribes that are doing well because of the casinos, but they got reparations. Go anywhere else in this world, in a first world country, and look at any ethnic group that originated there, decimated. The only other exception is the Maori tribe, Maori. If you want to look them up, they're New Zealand. It's actually kind of fascinating. I'm gonna look them up, but they got reparations. So you have to know who you are as ethnic Black Americans, as foundational as Sulan. Know who you are. Stop allowing people who don't want you to know who you are to tell you who you are. You have to look at yourself from a world perspective. You have to look at yourself from a historical perspective. And we're pretty amazing when you look at the whole thing, like amazing.
Why does global Black success look so American? Have you noticed that when the world thinks of Black success, it often imagines African Americans before Africans? I think that is because African success is often met with suspicion in a way that Afro American success isn't. African American success is more easily framed as legitimate, and that's because it has been stamped with the cultural, economic, and institutional approval of the United States. Therefore, when America validates the success of a Black person, the world is more likely to believe it and accept it. But when that success emerges from Africa, it is more likely to be questioned, politicized, and associated with nepotism and hidden powers. It's also very obvious that African American entrepreneurs do not receive the same treatment or public perception as African entrepreneurs. The American success story is often tied with ambition and started from the bottom, now we're here. Whereas African success stories will most likely be met with doubt about political connections and so on. And part of that is also because the starting from nothing narrative is not believable in Africa, where social mobility is way more difficult to access. Wealth is way more socially and politically inaccessible, which means that African entrepreneurs have to justify their wealth way more. They need to explain and defend their success in a way that African Americans are simply not required to. African success is simply not granted the same presumption of legitimacy. And that's because Afro-Americans benefit from a national legitimacy that Africans do not have. Their success is often protected by the American system, whereas African success, meanwhile, is still treated as suspicious.
I bet you didn't know this. But this is what we need to be showing our kids, right? Y'all see this black man right here? The richest black man in America. 11.4 billion, right? And he got a black woman on the side of him. I just wanted to show y'all that. They ain't showing too much of this, but he just made the Forbes list. He number 84 richest man in the world on the Forbes list of 400. There y'all go, man. Show this y'all kids. Let our kids know, look, man, we could do it. Black people could do it too. Black people could be multi-billionaires, not just a billionaire, multi-billionaires, right? And you don't got to sell out. He got a black woman on the side. I just thought I'd show that. And he look like cowboy or something, but no, go study him though. David Stewart is considered the richest black man in America with an estimated net worth of 11.4 billion. Show your kids that, man. Show your kids. And then he come from living paycheck to paychecks. Father was a mechanic and all kind of stuff, man. There y'all go, man. There y'all go, man. Just thought I'd show y'all that.
As a black billionaire, there's only 1%, right? I mean, black billionaires form 1% of the billionaires in this country. What is it like being a black billionaire when the other 99% are not?
It's a great job if you can get it.
That's right.
Well said.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
Yeah.
And here's the great news. You can get it.
Yeah.
It's there. It's available. We're in the greatest country on planet Earth. America is not perfect, but it is spectacular.
That's right.
And every day is a new opportunity. It's a blank canvas. You make your masterpiece.
Did you ever think you were going to get there?
I never thought I wouldn't.
Right. Woo! There it is.
Yeah.
That's right.
I never saw myself any other way. It was just like, people, how did that happen? I haven't had a job since I quit my paper route.
Right.
You know, do what you love and love what you do. And
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden you're going to look up and you go, whoa, that's pretty good. I'm having a great time. Just enjoy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, enjoy yourself. And people are like, how do you become a billionaire? Sell something legal. Sell something. You know, find a need, fill it, and fulfill that need, and before you know it, you'll be good. You know, you can be as wealthy as you want to be well within 12 to 36 months. Just focus on it.
Wow.
Amen.
There it is.
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and thank you so much for joining. And I really do appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys literally enjoyed all of that video. And I hope this video is able to educate a lot of people that have never seen something good coming out of Black Americans and tagging Black Americans lazy, calling them name east, west, north, and south. Honestly, this should be like a huge lesson to a lot, because one thing I've known in this life is there is nobody that is lazy. The only thing is the opportunity, the way I see a certain opportunity, another person might not see a certain opportunity like that. I can decide to say, okay, I will love or I can do a job of a dry cleaner. Why, in another man's eyes, dry cleaning job is a lazy man job, so he or she cannot do it. You understand? So I don't know how people view concept of someone being lazy, but for me, I have never seen Black Americans have been as being lazy, because apart from Black Americans accumulating wealth, making names from their for themselves, and then becoming billionaires east, west, north, and south, Black Americans are also one of the most influential people. As far as I'm concerned, you can actually still do your research and see. Okay. Economically, Black Americans have made major gain over the past several decades, especially in education and entries into professional fields. However, on average, there is still gap, and of which that we know. Median household income for Black family is lower than the US average for white families. Wealth, what family owns, not just earn, shows a large gap, partly due to historical factors like housing discrimination, access to capital and fundings. Educational wise, progress has been strong. High school completion rates are not similar to the national average. College enrollment has increased significantly through graduation rates, still lags somewhat due to systemic barriers. In leadership and influence, Black Americans are highly visible and impactful. In politics, figures like Barack Obama shows representation at the highest level, and me and you can also attest to that. In business, leaders like Robert F. Smith have built major financial success that even up to date, they have not been able to measure it from the white aspect. In culture, global influence in music, sports, and media, people like Beyonce or LeBron James has literally dragged a large map as well. Entrepreneurship is growing. Black-owned businesses are one of the fastest growing segments in the United States. True, though they tend to face more difficulties in accessing fundings, but they are still waxing strong and standing in the business markets. Challenges still exist, which include high employment rates on average, disparity in healthcare and criminal justice, historical inequality that still affects their present day opportunity. But one of the most richest people as well in America today are Black Americans, people that are able to face segregation, Jim Crow, redlining, etc. Can't still stand are not to be competed with. The bottom line is Black Americans are highly successful and influential in many areas, especially culturally and increasingly in business and leadership. Anyways, for those of you that will still be looking at Black Americans as people that are lazy, I hope this video is actually able to help you get some knowledge out there, because one thing I know why a lot of people keep saying that is because they lack knowledge and understanding, and that is why we are here to keep bringing those knowledge and understanding to every single individual. Black Americans are millionaires. Black Americans they are good in doing business. So in every day of your life, in every activities of your life, I keep telling you, look very well, look closely. There is one thing about Black American that you have literally shaped into your life directly or indirectly, whether you like it or not. So the earlier every single person, especially the immigrants coming to America, realize the effort of these people and how these people are trying to make name for themselves, despite every single thing they've been through, the better for them. Because I will still keep saying it. A lot of us wouldn't have been able to strive, wouldn't have been able to endure, wouldn't have been able to surpass every single step that these Black Americans have literally gone through. But let me know what you think in the comment section, and credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, engage. Please, I beg you in the name of God, and join my membership. I love you guys. Mwah.